Hello everyone and welcome to week 3. This is another video tutorial. So one of the things that I mentioned was that we're going to be separated into groups. Some of our projects starting in week 4 will be a group project and so forth. Start talking about a big project that we'll be working on. So some of the weeks, instead of having individual assignments, we'll have group assignments. So just want you to review this if no one's reviewed it. These are our groups. So team 1 is Brian Bancroft. What I did is I selected team leads. Each week it'll be a different team lead, but the initial person is person who, I guess you know what, let's take this back. No team leads. I started off as when I designed everything, and I'll have to tell you more information how this works. So team 1 is Brian Bancroft, Sean Clisby, and Nathaniel Grandelis. And if I butchered your last name, please let me know. One of the things that I'm going to want you guys to do is communicate with each other. There'll be a way that I'll show you different ways to communicate, but the key way is to through the suggestion board or utilize email, get each other's emails, send an email, because you guys are going to have to work together on this project. I know it's online. You may even know each other, but in this day and age, we're able to communicate in so many different fashions. So it'll be beneficial that you guys get to know each other for this class, because you guys will be working together on projects each week, or even the big project that everyone will be working on as a team. So that'll be very important, because I'll be grading based off of everyone's performance, and I'll be able to monitor what's going on. Team 2, Samuel Jones, Purdy Kamara, and Adam Lewis. These 3 will be on the same team. Team 3 will be Christopher Mankos, Nirad Nirola, and Sarah Pfeiffer. And once again, if I messed your name up, I do apologize. Not my best areas pronouncing last names. Just let me know and I'll fix it. In team 4, I have Kevin Sherman, Sawakti, Terrence Thomas, and Jeffrey Wagner. And this team has 4 people, so this is basically the majority of people in the class. One of the things here is you see this TFS URL. These are the URLs to your groups. So this is your, I'm not sure what your familiarity is with Team Foundation Server. I mentioned it before. It is a source code repository, but it's bigger than a source code repository. And this demo is going to go through it. But what's important is everyone remembers these URLs, or copy them, put them in your bookmark, because these are the locations of your source code repository. You're going to need this information because there are other video tutorials within week 3 that I go through that show you how to connect your Android Studio up to this source code repository. Now, everyone here in this group has access to it, but the thing is, everyone, in order to use Visual Studios, you have to have 2 ways that you could do it. You can't use your public email, so say your CCAC email or your Gmail or your Yahoo, whatever the case is. You have to have an Outlook.com address, or you have to have an MSDN license. An MSDN license, for those of you who don't know, is a subscription that allows you to download absolutely everything through MSDN. But usually what happens is a company pays for it. So for example, my company has a subscription for me, so they pay $2,000 a year for me to have this subscription, and it allows me to go in and download anything, Visual Studios, Office, etc. CCAC gives us a thing called DreamSpark, but it's very similar, but it's not the full thing as a MSDN. So what I was able to do is I had to go in and set up a Outlook email account for everybody. So I set up a username and password. What I will suggest is everyone will get an email with their username and password. I suggest everybody go change their password to something that you remember, and maybe change your account profile as well. The account profile is set up in case you forget your password. It's currently set up with my cell phone number, and my email address is a backup. So just modify that to affiliate your information. So if you do forget your password, you'll be able to have a text to you a lot easier than me getting a text and not knowing whose combination number that is, or you're not sure why you're not getting the text. So this information is located in course documents. If you got the course documents and you go into CIT135 groups, you get all your information here. So I think I am part of one of these groups right now. Let's go to this group first. All right. I guess I can't pull it up from here directly, so let's copy it, paste in the URL. I am. So let me sign in and show you how it looks. I'm going to sign out here. All right. So you'll get this page the first time you sign in. Click sign in. You'll put your address here. So it'll be Jeffrey CIT135. So your name will be the same thing. It'll be your first name dot last name dot CIT135 at outlook.com. You sign in, you'll have a profile. Use your benefits. It's only if you had MSDN, but what you want to do here is click this guy right here, your accounts. Whatever account you're affiliated with based off your group, you click on that. And then you have this. So this right here is Team Foundation Server. It's Visual Studio Team Service. And you'll see things in here that allows you to access Visual Studios. But we don't need to download Visual Studios. This is just for us. You could kind of ignore that. This Visual Studios Online TFS allows us to upload any source code, Java, and well, Android Studio is Java, but Java, C#, .NET, VB.NET, C++, PHP, Python, etc. Any source code could go here. So you get to use 3 different options. You got many options up here. We'll start off here. There's a lot to talk about here. So we have projects. So this is, I'll start here at projects. So let's say that, all right, I already started week 4 project. We just did that. So if you need to create a new project, let's say that you're going to go into week 5. You guys have a project that you're working on. You click new, and you name it whatever you want to. So I'm just going to call it week 5 project. You guys can remove it. You could put a description here and call it, this is my team's week project to blah, blah, blah. You get my point. The template, very important. Don't choose any of these two. Choose the Agile because that's the one that we're going to work on. Version control, don't use Git because we're not using Git and we're not set up to use it. So use TFS, the Team Foundation one, and click Create Project. All right, you'll see here it is creating the project. It just takes a little while. All right, great project. So now we click Navigate to Project. Brings up our project. So this is our week 5 project. We can click out of this. Here's all different options. Some of these things that we're not going to work on and some we are. And I'll have different videos explaining about each different thing. I'll have a video talking about burnout. I'll talk about new work items. I'll talk about team members and so forth. Right now in this case, what's interesting is you might have access to the whole environment. So if you come in here the first time, you have access to all this stuff. But you might not have access to week 5 projects. So let's say that, okay, Jeff Seaman created a week 5 project. Thing is, you won't have access to that. So what I need to do is add you. So I could click on team members, and then I can add you. So let's say, let me go back and see who's in team 1 here. So I want to add Brian. So what I'll do is I'll click add, and I'll start typing Brian's name in. It brings up his name. I click on his name, and I hit Save Changes. All right, and hit refresh. All right, maybe it didn't take it. All right, save changes. Boom. Guess it took a couple times. So then I would come up to Sean. Do Sean. Save changes. Sean. And then we had, who else did we have? Nathaniel. So click add. There we go. This came out great. Now, as you notice, his is not lit up, so this is a great example. Now, Nathaniel, when you log in the first time, you'll have to go in your email and you'll have to accept the invitation. So once you accept the invite and join, then this will light up the next time you log in. So we'll hit Save Changes and hit Close. Now all those people have access to the group. As you see, everybody has a letter of their name except Nathaniel, because he hasn't joined Visual TFS yet, so he has to sign up for it. Well, he's already signed up, so once he goes to the email, accepts it, then he'll be able to join. That'll be the same thing for everybody. So we will talk about later on other videos. I'm not going to talk about it this week as a work. Show you a little bit. We'll talk about sprints. If you remember the SDLC video I did, this will kind of go around with this. We'll do that another week. Builds, we're not going to really do builds in this class, but I'll tell you about it later on at another time. Test, this could be a good functionality. We'll talk about it another time. This will allow you to test your application. Release, nothing that we're going to use in this class, but I'll also talk about it in another session to kind of give you an example of what it does so you have an idea. But the main one that you are going to use is code. Code is just a way to show your source code. So when you upload source code, it'll be there. So let me see if I have something out here for you guys. I don't think I have something in week 4 to show you in code. I don't. Let me see if I can log into a different session. Just give me a second. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sign into a different group I have and show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Alright, sign in. You see I have a couple different accounts. Let's see here, Jeffrey. Do my 130 account. I think that's the one. Oh, come on. I remember my password. Alright, let's see here. Which one is it? Oh, that's this one here. Android is my group. Alright, so this is an example. So I took source code that I'm working on for Android. So that text view one I did in week 1, I threw it out here. So as you see here, my code that is saved and I showed you guys in the video is out here in my source code repository. So it has my whole directory from app, library, source, and everything. So I'm going to go down and drill in and show you an example. I think it's in my Java here. Jeez. All right, where did you put it at, Jeff? Let's see here. So as you see here, I drilled down to my application. So it shows my source code in this example. I don't know if this is the right one, but anyways, it'll show me any code changes I make. So if I was doing different code changes, and I'll show you something else, I could put information. I could come in here and edit my information as well. So let's say that I wanted to, oh, I have to click edit. Say if I click edit, and I wanted to add something to it, and I want to add another super application, as you notice here, the IntelliSense picks up, and I could type in the same stuff. I'm not going to use this information, but say I comment this out like that, comments it out, I can hit save, and it has that information in there. So it saves a history of it. So as you see, the first change set was change set 29, checked it in on this time, and now I just made a change to it, updated it, and the update was, you click on it, and look at this, it shows you basically an overview side by side. Shows you number 29, it shows you number 30. Shows you number 30, I just added a line and commented it out. So what it does is it shows you all your histories, and that's why we want to keep create a repository, so that, let's say that Adam's group or Brian's group, they're coding something and someone makes a change and whatever, you could go in here and kind of look side by side and see what's going on. You have a history of this information. It's saved in the cloud. It's not being purged, which is awesome. You'll be able to see this with an Android Studio as well, but this will be key for you to be able to kind of check your code in and out and kind of keep it in a safe area. We'll talk about shelf sets later. It's just a way that, say you're working on something and you don't want to interrupt someone and you're doing a release, you can put it to the shelf and do it later. Let's see if I have anything else out here. I think it's only that project. Let me go back here, code. No, I don't have anything there. I know one of these guys I have a project that might have something in it. Assignments code. Source. I guess it's just all the code. Yeah, that's not that. Let's see here. Assignments code, Android team. Which one was it? It's just back to that same one. But this will definitely be key for you to do. If I go to code and I click on chain sets, it shows all the chain sets. It shows when it was checked in for the first time, shows when everything was moved up, files to Android, and so forth. So this is good history information. It shows all my information. You know all the changes that are going on, which is very beneficial within this application. So this will be a tool that we'll be using. In other videos, I'll talk about user stories because they're going to be very beneficial to what we're going to be doing in this class. But in next week's, not this week, but next week's assignment, I'm going to assign you guys in a team based off the team that you're set up. This week, I want you guys to watch these videos. I want you to go out there and link your Android Studio to your project. Create a project. Each person create their own project, for example, and call it the Brian project or the Adam project. Create your own project, something significant to your name, and try to connect something to it. Anything. Just make sure it works. So that way, in week 4, you guys are on page. You got your Android Studios linked up to TFS. You're able to download source code and everything. So, any questions? Go to discussion, email or text me, and we'll go from there. So, good luck this week. Thanks.